Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd bring you a late night haul. A lot of these videos have been kind of late at night because I was on a vacation, a small week vacation, spring break vacation, and I thought I would take advantage of it and do some, what do you call it, burning the candle at both ends, so to speak, and do a lot of work, including the work that I put into YouTube, which is bringing you some content. So tonight I was going to bring you a Q&A and a small thrift haul because I have been, I think it was last night or the night before, someone said they wanted a Q&A session. So I think they even requested a live Q&A session because I have done other Q&A videos before, and a lot of times I would ask you to post your questions and then I would try to pick them up for the next week for the show, for the series. But that got to be a little cumbersome, I think, because people would leave questions on other videos, and it was just hard to be retrieving all of the questions from other videos. And I tried to get them on one video, but it didn't work out. So we're going to do it tonight. We're going to see how it goes. I will answer your questions as long as they're not too personal or anything like that I feel I wouldn't want to answer. Other than that, I don't see why I can't answer anything you propose tonight. So let me open the other window and see if anyone has joined me in the chat. Let's see. Why is this taking me so long? There it is. I think it's these glasses. They're not working very well. I cannot see very well. I don't know why. Different glasses I see better, and the ones that are coming apart, I can really see well. Okay, it looks like a few people have come in. I want to thank you for being here, Jennifer. I think I may have to switch glasses. Can't even read the names. Jennifer, Mila, Catherine, with a C and with a K, both beautifully spelled. I always like Catherine with a C, but then I like Catherine with a K too. Pretty names. NZ, Hello Strangers, Carol, Makeup Zombie. Did you have fun today, Miss Liz, at that cute little store you were shopping at? We were out and about having dinner, and I couldn't talk for very long because then my chicken fried steak arrived, and it looked beautiful. Of course, I took a picture of it. Haven't posted it anywhere, but it was a great dinner tonight. All right, let me see. Marie is here too. And so are you guys thinking about any questions while I pull out the thrift haul? Again, it was a requested video that I do a live Q&A, so I thought I'd do one tonight and see how it goes. And if you do have a question for me, try to highlight my name with putting the symbol at before my name, and then it'll be highlighted, or put it all in caps or a couple of question marks before or after, and I should be able to see it. Thank you guys for being here. If you are new to the channel, today we're just doing a Q&A. We're doing a thrift haul. We do a lot of talk about jewelry as well. And last night I did a cleaning video on jewelry. I hope you guys got to watch it. And prior to that, I did, I think, a jewelry haul. And we also did an unjarring of a jewelry jar. We do that a lot. When I find them, I do like to bring them to you. I really like doing them live, even though they take a little bit longer. But there is something to be said for the ones that are recorded because they go a little quicker and we don't have to sit through all the wrinkles, or rather the, what do you call it, tangles and wrinkles, I guess. So I hope you enjoy that kind of content. If you do, be sure and hit that subscribe button right there at the bottom of the screen. And right there, there's also some thumbs. Be sure and hit the thumbs up, turn it blue, and hit the little bell to be notified when I do go live or when I put up a new video. And tomorrow I will be here at 3 p.m. Central for my A-Listers series. I hope you come in and watch that. We're going to talk about pricing items for movement on eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, how they differ, how they're the same, and how people have common misconceptions about them. Even in pricing, they have these common misconceptions about them. And I think a lot of times it holds us back from listing. I think we are almost scared to list in a lot of ways. Hi, Land Shark Picker. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. It looks like Flippin' Mama's here too. Vanessa's here. Thank you guys so much. Patricia Eaches is here as well. So again, that's what the series is going to be about tomorrow. Also, someone had, at least 2 people have asked me about auctions. They've asked me how to get started with them. I haven't even held an auction. I'm going to, but I haven't even held one, but I certainly do enjoy them. I just was over at MSP's auction. That's always been a lot of fun. There's been several coming in here on YouTube. I've also been partaking at the ones on Facebook, and I'm taking lots of notes from the ones on Facebook because they're a lot of fun. They're fast-paced, and they just do a lot of things differently that I really, really like, and I want to bring that to my auction when I have it. But I am going to talk about auctions tomorrow as far as what I think if you do an auction, you should probably do or don't do. And I'm going to, believe me, take that to heart because I haven't even done one. And I'm not speaking as a, I hope it's constructive criticism. I hope it's taken that way. That's the way it's given. It's not in any means trying to downgrade anyone or anything. Like, we're all new at everything we try once. You know, if you go back and look at just yesterday's video, I always mess up. Look at my videos from 6 years ago. I could barely speak up. Everybody had to keep telling me to speak up. And so there's a lot of things that we do and we get better at. And the same thing with selling on these platforms like Etsy and eBay and all of that. You make mistakes in the beginning. You still make mistakes. We all do, but we grow and hopefully we get better with them. So again, if you have any questions, this is a Q&A. Put them in a highlight mode with the @ before my name. And then don't even space, and then it'll come up and you click it where it shows my name, Thelma Thrift, and that way I can see your question. Otherwise, I won't see it, and if the scroll, you know, goes up, I won't catch it right away. Well, let me tell you about the thrift store I went to today. I had not been to these thrift stores in a long time. I've been really spoiled. I'm going to do the thrift haul first before you guys get your questions ready. I've been really spoiled with the Goodwills. There's so many around, and they're kind of quick for me to go in and out of. These other thrift stores are really kind of work. They're just, you know, they're not as ordered as the Goodwill. The Goodwill's everything, you know, nice and neat, and books are here and whatever. Well, I walked into the Value Village that I had been to many, many times before. And I noticed that it wasn't its usual disarray. It was disarrayed, but it was even more so. And like on the counters where they used to have jewelry, they had socks inside the glass counters, like where you would normally see colognes or things like that. They had little socks, like packages of socks. Where they had the plush, they had a few plush. They no longer had toys. Everything was just kind of weird and like really, really crowded. Well, finally, and I'm going to bring you right along from there. Finally, I asked the lady, what's going on? Are you guys moving out or what? And then I saw these 2 girls that actually had aprons on, like smocks, like they were working there. And I asked them, are you guys moving out? And they tell me, no. She said, I'm sorry, we don't work here. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, you're shopping? They had like 3 carts full, and they were looking through everything. They had already like fished everything out, and then they were, I guess, you know, scrutinizing everything and then really making their final decisions. So then I was like, this is really strange. So I asked another lady, are you guys moving out or what's going on with this store? I hadn't even noticed they had turned it into an outlet store. So I'd never been to a Value Village outlet store except one time when I went to meet Tanya and Deborah over at Pinching Pesos, and I met them for a meetup, and we met at a Value Village. I think it is Value Village, a family thrift outlet. And it was huge, and it was definitely the kind of place you have to camp out, bring a sandwich and all kinds of stuff. So then I was like, oh, really? And she said, yeah. She goes, everything is reduced throughout the week. So today it's $1.75. Everything in the store was $1.75, guys. And I'm talking, they had stuff. I didn't buy a bunch of stuff because I'm trying to cut down on the larger things that I sell, including clothing. But I did find some stuff. And then I went to another thrift store down the road, and I found this there. But $1.75, guys. And then there's a day, I think she said Thursday, it's a 25-cent day. Everything's a quarter. So that's why those girls had those 2 huge basket things full of clothes. Oh my gosh. I'll show you what I got. I got a few things. Then I got this down the road. What do you recommend to clean natural leather? I've done a video on that. And what I use for my handbags is good lotion. good hand lotion like Lubriderm. I don't go out and buy. I'm the kind of person that I'm always, even with my recipes, guys, if there's no mayonnaise, I grab sour cream. You know, I just don't buy leather cleaner and all that. If you want to, you go ahead and do it. People swear by saddle soap and all of that, but I'm not going to go buy $10 worth of saddle soap to clean a bag that I bought for $1. So I get my Lubriderm or my good non-scented, you know, not anything from Bath and Body Works or anything like that, because I'm sure that has like extra perfumes and stuff in it that, you know, could damage the leather. And I always test it in a little corner, but that's what I do to clean my leather. I use what I use on my hands. And I've talked about that in my handbag hauls as well. Let me see if there's any other questions real quick. All right, there are some questions here at the top. And I hope I'm making up for all those questions I always miss when we have these chats sometimes, and I don't see them till afterwards. Sometimes they don't even come up till an hour after we've gone dormant, and I reread all of the chat. I learned some things watching your cleaning video. Wonderful, Catherine. I'm so glad. I learned some things too from the people in the chat. I learned to use the diluted vinegar instead of the ketchup for like a particular spot. I think Deb's at Deb's Treasures was telling me about that, so I'm going to do that too. But all those methods we used in that video, they work, and they work really well. Hey, Kelly, I'm glad you're here. And I think that's all the questions so far. Let me see. I did go and pick up some of those boxes to make my craft lots. And it said no more than 3 boxes per customer. So my husband went back and got 3 more. I told him not to, but he didn't listen. He's like, I don't want to have to bring you back. So I got 3, and then he got 3. So we are ready to make those craft lots. All right, let's start with what I got for $1.75. Think about your questions and put them in there, guys. All right. I got this. It was in this package. Let me show you this real quick. This one was from the other store. And I really should have, I wasn't thinking either, guys. There's a Facebook coupon right now. If you guys have Family Thrift, it doesn't say here, I think it's Family Thrift. You can get 50% off all the way through March 20th. And I think it's all locations. And I saw this young guy in front of me using the coupon from his app, just right there in the phone. You just have to look for it on Facebook. Value Village 50 off coupon. He was using it, then he forgot his money in the car and had to go get it. And I only had this little thing, and it was marked $1. I think it says $1.21. And then I had seen a big goblet, but they wanted 6, and I didn't want to pay 6. And then I realized it was half off. I hadn't even realized that. I would have shopped a little bit more, that I could use that coupon. So I was already getting ready to leave it anyway. So I got this for $1. She just took my $1. She didn't even ring it up because she didn't want to have to void his and then whatnot. So she took my $1 for it. I think it was $1 or something. And she's like, don't worry about the change. But this is a hobnail milk glass. I really love it. I wish I could find more. But these are selling for $10, guys. $10 a piece on eBay. I think I saw 2 or 3 selling for $8 plus $10 shipping. So, I mean, you do have to ship it nice and securely. It won't be less than $8 to ship it for sure. But I'm kind of partial to it now. It feels so nice. It has a nice grip because of these little nails on it. And not too long ago, I did sell a little hurricane lamp for just like it, a hobnail milk glass. And I think it sold for $25 on eBay. And I had it listed forever. I think it took 2 years to sell it, but finally somebody bought it. And it was on Good Till Cancel. But yeah, I looked this up real quick just because I was curious. You know, I mean, it wasn't very much. Either way, I was going to keep it for myself. I thought it's a nice little goblet there. And it's the 4-inch, I believe. So it's so pretty. It's even got design all in here at the bottom. So I researched that. And then they even had some that were jade light. Not at the thrift store, on eBay. So pretty. I love jade light. All right, let me go back and see if I see a question. How do you identify real jade? Well, ask Miss Kelly. Hey, Tanya, how are you? I identify it by how it feels so cold immediately upon touching it. And even when you, because usually like when you put on pearls, they really take on the heat of your body, and you take them off and you feel them. And jade does that to a certain extent, but it turns cold really quickly. And when you touch it next to your other stones, let's say turquoise or something, it's just like extra cold. It's really, really cold. And then there are some things you can see through the loop that I have noticed with some of my real jade, and then I have some really good imitation bangles, that you see a little bit of a speck, little tiny specks of black. And I was trying to describe it to Miss Kelly there at Hip Flippin' Mama, and she didn't know what a kiwi was or hadn't seen one up close. When you slice it and you see those tiny little specks of the seeds, that's what it looks like to me. That's exactly what jade looks like to me. And you see other striations and other inclusions, so to speak, in there as well through the loop. But get yourself one that you know is probably not, it looks more like marble or glass, and look through the loop on that one, and then look through the loop on a real jade, and you'll see the difference. Plus, I have been lucky enough to find, and you guys have probably run into them too, the 60s little brooches that may be gold filled or gold plated, and they'll say real jade, and you know, there'll be a little leaf or a little rose, and they'll be accented with real jade. So I've been able to study it that way. And then I think, I hope I'm not mis-explaining it, but Casey over at Geisha Treasures was saying something about a scratch test, that if you scratch it with a fine pointed sewing needle, it won't scratch or something, or if it does, it comes right back off or something. But go back and look at that video where he was talking about that. I think it was one of the auctions. And of course, watch the YouTube videos. But that's what I do. I can really tell with the coldness and the way it turns cold, even after you've just taken it off. You'll feel like it has taken on your body heat a little bit, but it immediately gets super chilly and so much more colder, so much colder than other stones, other gemstones or semi-precious. And look for those little black specks. They're in there. Little teeny, I'm not as big as the kiwi seed, but there are some little tiny black specks in there. All right, let me see if I see another question here. Before I get to the rest of the haul. I think that's it at the top. Let me go down a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, and Miss Kelly sold me some beautiful jade earrings that every time I look at them and touch them, I'm convinced more and more. Hi, Babsy. How are you, darling? My prayers are with you. I, too, lost a niece at 19, and I am praying for you. I am praying for you. Very, very hard. Because I know the pain. And it's not easy, but it will just get time. Time doesn't heal. Time doesn't heal at all. But it almost makes you appreciate what you have even more when you lose someone you love. So my prayers are with you, honey. Another thing I found today, guys, is this beautiful scarf for $1.75. Tanya, have you been to those outlets again? I found one accidentally. I just went into a Value Village. This is all silk. I can feel it. And it's a long one. I love the bandeau style scarves. And I walk inadvertently into Value Village or Thrift. Which one was it? Family Thrift. And they turned it into an outlet, and everything was $1.75 today. And this is a beautiful chiffon silk. It's not labeled or anything, but I can feel it, that it's a chiffon silk. It's gorgeous. And they reduce it every day. Like I said, I've only shopped in one time when I met you and Deb. I think over there by Clear Lake. I don't even remember where I went. I just put it on the GPS and went. And I've never actually had any close by. This one's close to my mother's, so I'll be going on Wednesday when everything's a quarter. I can't believe it. The people are cleaning up. Then I got this. I'll probably wear this tomorrow. Hopefully. Let's see what the camera does with it. This is by Caribbean Joe, $1.75. And I thought it had a tag. Looked like it had a store tag on it. I don't know. Maybe she took it off. Because I could have sworn it had a store tag. It looks brand new. This is just a little top I bought for myself. I really do like this color. And I like the little design right here. It's got like a little braid, like a knotting or something right here. So I got that too for $1.75, 3/4 sleeve. Really like it. Caribbean Joe is the brand. It's cute. It's cute, and I think it's good for this coming season and for tomorrow. Then I got this, and I may put this up for sale. And if it doesn't sell, I'll be wearing it next Christmas. This one was new with tags. It's a little nightgown with a little cardinal, Christmas cardinal. Still had, I think this is an exclusive to Macy's Charter Club. I don't think it has a price. It just says flannel, brand new. Originally, I guess, so the lady was telling me everything from the family thrift, when it doesn't sell after a certain time, they put it over there. And this is just a gown, and I don't really have gowns. And sometimes the pajamas roll up on you. Don't you hate that when they roll up with the legs? It's horrible. So brand new with tags. I'm going to stick it up on Posh, eBay, and so forth. Try to get about 20 bucks for it. And like I said, if it doesn't sell by Christmas, it's either going to find its way into a gift wrap box as a gift, or it'll be mine. $1.75, guys. Gosh, that's all I needed was another bargain place, right? Any more questions? Let me check. Again, this is a Q&A, so if you have questions, put them in the chat with question marks in the front or the back. Yeah, I better wear green tomorrow, and or highlight my name. How do you tell if you have a real Cinnabar bracelet? I found one in a jewelry jar today. Well, I have one too. It's up there. Let me show it to you. And I've been trying to decipher it too. There's some really good videos as well. Let me get it. And look, I also have a fake jade here. I think this is fake. And it doesn't have the little specks. But it's very heavy, and it's just not as cold as the jade bangle I gave my daughter because she wanted it. It doesn't have the little specks and stuff. It does have kind of the marled stuff, but I'm not sure. I don't see the little specks, and it just doesn't feel as cold. Now, the Cinnabar is right here that I think is Cinnabar. And someone said you can see layers when you look through the loop. Supposedly, they use the Cinnabar resin or whatever it is, that natural thing, and they paint with it, and they put layer, and then it dries, and then they put more layers. But what makes me think this is Cinnabar is the intricate design. I just think it's such an intricate design. It just seems like so much work to do with a fake bangle. And I have looked at it under a loop, and I still, actually, to tell you the truth and to be perfectly honest with you, I still don't know what they mean by layers. I have to really watch more videos, but there's supposed to be a layering process that goes through this. And you're supposed to be able to see layers. And my eye is untrained, to tell you the truth. But I'm convinced this is a Cinnabar just because of the design. So when I list it, and I may even put it at my auction, because it's a very large bangle. And remember, I was telling you guys that people have been asking for large bangles, especially large bracelets, but especially bangles, because you can't get them in. I mean, even some of these, they're tough to get in, right? Sometimes they're tough to get in, normal sizes. And this is the extra large. So that's what I can answer, is that there's supposed to be a layered process, and it should be visible in a loop. But as with anything, there are lots of videos out there that will help you identify what layers look like. And they do have the fake and the non and the genuine next to each other, so you can kind of compare the two. Let me see if I see another. From Catherine, being basically new to jewelry reselling. I have a hard time sometimes telling the difference between glass and actual stone beads. Is there a really easy way to know the difference? Well, Sandy talked about one where you kind of put your breath on it, like that. You kind of like you do when you clean your glasses. And I believe she said that it stays longer on stone or versus glass. That's one way. Then again, you'll always see inclusions on anything natural, and the glass you'll usually see the air bubbles that glass has. Glass is kind of easy to see. It just doesn't have the striations and things that natural stones do. That's what I know about it. And they seem to be colder as well. The stones are really, really cold. Glass will stay cold, but if you hold it for a little while, it warms up. Yes, stones have inclusions, yes. And I was hearing the other day, I watched a guy out of Mexico who sells pearls from the Atlantic and all of that over there, that they find natural pearls. And he was saying he does the same test with pearls. He talked about several different ways to tell a real pearl from a fake pearl. But one was that he held it in his hands, and if it wasn't, it would get cold pretty quickly, whereas the pearl holds the heat for a little bit longer than the glass pearl. So there's different ways, but that's one that I've heard. They do have inclusions. They stay colder. That's why when you touch, like, you know, that malachite or the rose quartz, it's just so incredibly cold. And glass really doesn't do that. Let me see if we have any other questions. Carol Dodson says, how do you tell if you have a, oh yeah, I just answered that one, sorry. I think that's it for the questions. We can go back to the haul. And the jade question, yeah, all right. Be sure and put it in caps, guys, or question marks before or after for any questions you may have. And I'll go back to the $1.75 haul. Oh, I got this. And I was looking at the ones that Nikki was putting on her auction tonight. And my husband was like, what are those hats? And I said, they sell. They actually sell on Etsy. I picked this one up for $1.75 because though it's a little crushed, is it not fantastic? I don't want to get makeup on it though, but it's just fantastic. It's like from the 30s. And it's Mr. Charles, or at least the style is for me, Mr. Charles. It is straw. It's got a beautiful silk rose. And if I know anything, I know that when my dad used to buy his Stetsons and cowboy hats, they always had to fit the brim just the way he liked it. He liked what they called a bull rider style, and they get the really short brim, and they'd always have to steam it. So I think I can get a pot of steaming water, steam out all of those little crinkles and wrinkles, steam the little silk flower, and I'll put it up on Etsy for a good $50. And I got it for $1.75 today at the thrift store. They had a few of these, not this exact style, but they had a few of the vintage hats. And I know you sold some hats too, right, Tanya? You pick up these little vintage hats as well. I picked up one in that, remember that beret I did for St. Patty's Day? Well, when I bought her, she was wearing a beautiful hat. And I actually bought, I think, 3 from that lady. She had nothing but vintage items. It was right here. She's my neighbor down the road. And she'd been a big collector of hats and clothing. So I hit her up and I bought quite a few of her things. I have sold one of her dresses, which was kind of a, oh, I did a little video about it. It was kind of like a Sandra D, you know, the little Peter Pan collar, and everything was starched and beautiful. That sold on Etsy too. And the hats, and then I bought that mannequin, which I love, and she models all my, what do you call it, sunglasses and things. All right, back to the rest of it. Again, guys, if you have any questions, put a highlight on my name, put it all in caps or something. I bought this fabulous tie. I've been trying to do the ties again, just the designer or vintage, because I did sell a vintage tie. Here and there they sell on, I've even sold one on Posh, I believe, Guy LaRoche. This is 60s if you ever heard it. And it's silk. And I just like the pattern too. Sometimes just the pattern tips you off. Of course, there was a trend, you know, with the skinny tie, I think from the 50s, and then 70s had the real wide tie. But the 60s was really classic. So I love it. And Guy LaRoche was a big name in the 60s, and it's in good condition. But that's one thing you do need to watch at those outlet stores. Many things look really fantastic. I had picked up a Coach bag that looked fantastic. It was a tote bag, plain classic Coach bag. but it had a tiny little part where the, what do you call it? The little piping had come off. And it was tiny, not even an inch. But even for that, I was just like, you know, I'm going to have to, maybe I could make $30 on it, but I'd risk her being unhappy with it. And so I just left it. And then if I had liked it for myself, which I don't normally like Coach, only because I do like them. I like the messengers, but like their big, all leather totes or their bigger messengers, they're made with such fabulous leather, especially the vintage ones, that they really weigh you down. I have to, like, I can't even carry them. So that's why I didn't take it. Another fabulous tie. This is a Ralph Marlin, and it is the Toy Story potato head. So I'll pick up little things like this, list them for $20. These, again, $1.75 was a good buy for these ties. Sometimes they're as high as $4 or $5 at the Goodwill, but sometimes you can make some really good money. I showed you the ones I bought the other day from Ferragamo. But, you know, even little things like this I found have sold, like maybe a theme like a Christian or, oh, what else? Golfing, certain golfers or other things like that that really have a draw. I thought Toy Story, it's 20-year, what is it? I think it was, it says right here when it came out because it's got the trademark. It's been a long time since Toy Story came out. So these kids are already into their nostalgia, right? What does it say here? 1985. 1985. Wow. Can't even believe that. Doesn't seem like it. Okay. Any more questions? Let me know if I miss one. Yell at me in caps or something. Let me see. How do I ship my... Yes, I do roll them. I was so upset. I had them all rolled up and ready, and the lady was grabbing them and putting them any which way she wanted to. But lady, I just rolled them so they wouldn't get wrinkled. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, this one, I didn't get it at the thrift store. I went to see my mom, and I was admiring this little decanter that she has. I thought it was like a jewelry box that I have, and you know how mothers are. Luckily, luckily my mother's wonderful. And she said, take it with you. A friend of hers had given it to her, and it's full of these little potpourri blocks. And while it was in my car smells fantastic. It smells like cinnamon and sugar now. I don't know what kind of a potpourri. They're like blocks in there. So I thought I'd show you that anyway. It's just all perforated with this. And I guess I just need to polish it up. It's silver. And the lid just pops open completely. It's not hinged. But I thought I'd show you that too because it was in the bag. She gave it to me today. That's how I wound up at those other thrift stores because I went to see her. So she gave me that. And let me see what else is in here. Oh, another beautiful scarf. Silk. This one is Jones, New York, I believe. But who can resist that gorgeous? No, this is Nippon. Albert Nippon. You guys remember he made all of those dresses in the beautiful silks. And I know they carried him at Neiman's at one time. And then like at Macy's and stuff. That name down there, Albert Nippon. And it's 100% silk. And I love scarves. I wear them in my hair everywhere. Tie them around my bags. Look at that beautiful pattern. $1.75, guys. And this is, I mean, I don't even see his name anymore. He used to make those beautiful silk dresses. Do you guys remember Albert Nippon? Dresses that were so gorgeous. Back in the 90s, I think, is when he was really popular. But I love paisley prints. They're just so beautiful. I actually use scarves and beautiful little teddies and nighties. I had them as my curtains at one time. And I had them as my curtains in my closet as well. Then I picked up this tie, and I have sold these wool ties with these patterns before. I've gotten them from Pendleton, and I've gotten them from Made in Ireland, just the label that says Made in Ireland. Well, this one says Locairn, and it says it's the Cumming clan. So as you know, there's a particular pattern for clans and for the Irish type of culture. So this is a beautiful, beautiful tie, and that's what it says it is. Cumming Clan, Cumming. And I guess it's a good brand. It's got the silk lining in the back. And I did sell one of these. It looked almost identical, a little bit more Christmassy. I sold one on Etsy this year for, I think, about $25. But I thought it was interesting that he actually had the name of the clan there. So that'll be a great keyword for me to identify it and maybe move it faster. It feels a lot thinner and silky. It almost feels like wool silk or like a silk wool blend. Very, very rich, like, you know, like men's suits or something that have that beautiful crisp wool, yet silky. Very, very nice. So that was also $1.75. And then the last thing I got was this tie. And this one is a Mickey. And these are selling for about, I think they were averaging about $30. It is Balancini Presents the Tie Works, Disney, LA, California, USA. So it's definitely vintage. And the one that I saw selling, I think, like I said, $30 to $40. It was in red. I didn't see any blue at all. And these were already sold on eBay. And it's got the beautiful classic Mickey, but then he's also kind of hidden. I don't know if you can see that he's got a print there where it's black. You can't hardly see it there, where it almost looks like it's a stain across right there, but it's actually just a black caricature of Mickey. And as you know, Disney is just a big draw, period. The ties, also people collect their ties. So I couldn't resist it for $1.75. I'll give it a try. I'll try to list some of these tomorrow. What I do with these, I do have one very crisp white shirt that I just put it up next to. And I try to take that picture with it as if it's tied already right there. And then I'll take one of it rolled. I'll take the back label. I'll disclose any kind of discoloration or anything like that. But it's pretty easy to pick up some of these at a really good price and get some money for them on your eBay and Etsy stores if you do that. All right, guys, I'm going to open it up to some more Q&A. I do have some bags, but I think we'll do that later because they're huge. I got a really big one here. That'll take all night. Any other questions for me? How do you decide? That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow, Teresa. How do I decide to engage my prices? But rule number one basically is do even a slight bit of research. Go to eBay. See what a Guy Laroche tie is selling for. If it's a very unique color, that's going to add a little bit more to it. If it's a unique design, like I said, that Mickey is a triple threat, basically because people collect ties, people collect Mickey, people collect vintage. That's three things that you can target right there. And the same thing with anything that you're looking at. Jewelry is the same way. You know, some people collect a certain one. Did you guys hear me that I sold the Jelly Belly? I'm going to bring you the sales video very soon. I hope you enjoyed that series as well, but it sold for $120. And I was super excited about selling that one. I found it in a jar not too long ago. And it was the jar I was complaining about because I didn't get that discount. It's the one they put the white tag on it, and I paid full price, $50 for it. But that little one thing doubled the bag, doubled what I paid for the bag. So it just depends. Again, we look for comps. We look for even just Google, put it in there, and it'll take you right to eBay. It'll take you right to Etsy. You don't even have to go to each site. If you just go to Google, you can see under shopping what they're selling it for. But don't only see what they're selling it for, go and see what it's sold for, or go and see what they're listing it for. Because a lot of times someone who just cleaned out mom's estate, they don't know that people collect Mickey Mouse ties. They just think it's whatever. They may just put them in a lot or something. So it's really important that you look at what it's listed for, what it's sold for, what is the highest one listed, and you know, it's under sort and filter, and that's where all your research will come in. So, and of course, the rarer things are, the more that you can ask for them. Like the little glass here. I mean, I kind of figured, well, I collect milk glass. I love it. And I kind of figured since I sold that hobnail hurricane cover, it wasn't even the lamp, it was just a little shade. And I sold it not too long ago for a good price, but it had been up there 2 years. So I kind of figured, well, the hobnail is probably the draw more than just the milk glass. And sure enough, they had hobnail jade. They had a set of this in the hundreds with the little pitcher or 4 of them or whatever. This one alone was $8 and $10 shipping. So I could say $10, $8 shipping, whatever. Or I could just say, you know, $20 free shipping. That's how I could do that. Someone may need that one last glass to complete their 6 or 8 or 4 set. So that's the kind of thing you want to look for. Again, milk glass, a lot of people are just ignore it, but the hobnail may be the draw, right? The hobnail may be the draw. And then, of course, we all know how wonderful jade light is as well. But someone else's may have a little bit more scratch, a little bit more wear on it than another one. That's what you need to look at. And read the listing. Read the listing to see exactly if there's any flaws, or if they're charging an exorbitant amount of shipping. Maybe that's why it's so low, because that's what this person was doing. They were charging $10 shipping and $8 for the glass. Looks like Adam's Exploit has popped in here. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, I was on his show, on his last show Tuesday, and I had a lot of fun there. And we learned a little bit about jewelry, I hope. And every time he has a new guest on there, we all learn a little bit. So be sure and subscribe to his channel. Will you sell that little heart bracelet? It was TY silver along with the heart stone. Hurts you going to sell it. Do you know? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I go through so much jewelry that I forget. If you ever are interested in anything, guys, it really helps me if you take a screenshot and send it to me so that I'll know. Because either that, even the timestamps don't help sometimes because people can't remember what video it was. But I'm not really sure which one you're talking about. I'd love to talk about a transaction with you. If you can send me a screenshot, I really do appreciate when you do that. I can see it and I can remember. I may not always find it right away. It took me a while to find this beautiful little kid's bracelet that one of my subscribers wanted, but I finally found it. So it's going off to her soon. Thank you so much for that super chat, Adam. Thanks again, Thelma. Your interview was, yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate that, Adam, and I appreciate that $5 super chat. So sweet of you to do that. Not necessary, but very nice of you. And let me see if there's any. How do you sell on Poshmark? Poshmark is one of the easiest platforms to sell on. I absolutely love it, and I am going to do another show on that. I'm going to do a show that I'm thinking of titling. It's going to be in the A-Lister show, which is on every Sunday at 4 p.m. Central. Excuse me, 3 p.m. Central. Zombie is the one that's on 4 p.m. Central. Mine's at 3 p.m., and I'm going to talk about what I hate about Poshmark, what I love about Poshmark, what I hate about eBay, and what I love about eBay. Kind of a little bit of a juxtaposition of my love-hate relationship with all of those platforms, because they all have their good and their bad. And Poshmark is very easy to sell things on. It does require some work, but I do have a whole video about Poshmark, and I'll link it here. Tanya has done videos on Poshmark as well, but I will link my video at the end of this one. When you watch the replay, check for the very last part of the video, and you can click on there, because I did one not too long ago about Poshmark. And of course, I'll delve into that a little bit more during my A-Lister series. I hope to cover each platform with a little bit more specifics about it, so that we can all learn which ones I appreciate and which ones I find a little bit more difficult, though I still appreciate. Like Etsy, for example, I find it very difficult to use with the mobile app. But I appreciate the fact that I put vintage things on there and they get attention immediately. They really, really do. And people hunt for certain things. Those hats, that beautiful red hat, that's where it's going on Etsy first thing. Hey, Sandy, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you being here. Yes, the puppy video was such fun. Robert was watching that one too, Sandy. I think you're his favorite. Next to me, I think you're his favorite YouTuber. He's always like, did you see Sandy make this? Did you see Sandy make that? All right. Well, if there's no other questions, guys, let me know if you have any more before we sign off. It was a small little haul, but we'll be back tomorrow for the A-Listers show. We're going to talk prices. We're going to talk auctions. And again, if you have any other questions or suggestions for videos, let me know here in this chat or in the comment section when we come back. When it uploads for the replay, you can go to the comment section. And those of you guys who didn't make the chat is only during the live stream. Afterwards, you have to use the comment section. I hope you guys took the time to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to do it if you haven't. Don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't, let me scroll back one more time to see if I didn't miss any questions. Where do you buy good bags? Oh, my goodness. You mean like at a thrift store? Is usually the Goodwill is where I've gotten lucky at the Goodwill, but at the thrift stores too. Value Village, Thrift Village is where I bought the last 2 Guccis that I found. I did also find a black Gucci at Goodwill. I scored big time on a Gucci on Poshmark. So do not hesitate. That's what another thing I love about Poshmark is that it's also a buyer's market. There are people on there that are not just there to sell you something they bought and sell it to you at a higher profit. They're literally there to what the app was founded for, which is to clean their closet and go and buy the next latest bag. So you can find really nice bags on Poshmark too. And don't be afraid to use the offer button. Don't be embarrassed. That's what it's there for. Just do it. And I have noticed that Mercari now has a cutout. They will not let you go below, I think, 10% or 20% of the listed price. Whereas with Poshmark, you can go as low as you're comfortable. They don't have to accept it. They can say no, but that's a very good place to buy handbags, designer handbags. And I do source from there. I talked about that many times. I would buy Louis Vuitton wallets and resell them on Etsy or resell them, on eBay, or resell them right there on Poshmark for a little bit more to make a little bit more profit with them, because people are letting go of their things. Not everyone is a reseller on there. There are people, like I said, who are just selling their things and really want to sell them. And they don't really, these are people that buy Louis Vuittons every time they come out with a new thing. It's nothing to them to just get rid of it for $50. Do you trust buying bags from shopping Goodwill versus jars from the stores? Do you trust buying bags? Oh, like jewelry bags? And maybe that's what you were asking me earlier, jewelry bags. I only buy jewelry bags here on at the Goodwill. I'm sorry, I went on this whole thing that's tangent about handbags. But jewelry bags, I do not buy on Shop Goodwill. I have not bought on there. I want to, but I haven't yet. I hope to. I haven't done it yet, and I don't know if I feel comfortable doing it. I want to give it a try. I want to do one that's all knotted up. That's what I want. I want one that's a big mess of knots, of chains. But like anything, it's a risk. I don't know what's in this bag, and this one was expensive. This one was $60, and I hadn't bought from this place in a while, and I was like, gosh, $60. She goes, oh, they were higher. We had been doing them higher. So you just never know. But I paid $50 for that other one with that Jelly Belly, and it sold. So you just never know. It's a risk either way, whether you buy from ThredUp, whether you buy from Goodwill, or at the thrift stores at Goodwill. You don't know what's in there. The only one that knows what's in there is the one that put it in. And even then, this lady told me, I asked her, what's in there? Did you put me some treasure? She said, oh, I don't know. I just scooped it up. I don't know if she's telling me the truth or not, but it's possible. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad that you're at least got that. Have you done well with those that you picked out of Goodwill? I know some people have, and some people have done good with the ThredUp and some haven't. But I think it's fun regardless, and you're still going to pay $40 if if there's some places that sell them for $10. I know that Joan Brody gets hers very cheap. Cindy Lovin gets her bags very cheap, but we don't here in Houston. We used to get them for $20, $25. Occasionally, I still find the $25, $29 ones, but compared to $10 and $5 with a coupon, we don't have that, and it's still just a big risk, really. You know, you just never know what you're going to get. But then sometimes it's, you know, it's a windfall and it's bingo. You just never know. And that's the fun part. And there's still something great out of every single piece. Have you guys watched Makeup Zombie's channel? She has amazing videos on DIYs. She creates the most amazing things out of things that we would say, oh, that's trash, and toss it. And she turns it into something beautiful. And I believe she used to sell those cell phone cases on Etsy or somewhere, and people are still clamoring for her to sell them, but she's got a wonderful creative eye. And you can just do so much with that. And then what I'm doing now, like I said, I went and got the boxes for the flat rate because I'm going to start building the crafter lot, the jewelry lot, the mix lot. You guys helped me with that the other day when I did the video. Was it today? I don't even remember. Was it? Yeah, it was yesterday, I think. My days are all mixed up with this beautiful spring break that I'm coming to a close on now. Anyway, so I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to list them in on eBay and Etsy and so forth. I may even put them in my private auction and sales videos later. After we do that one-time auction we're going to do, I may start listing them there. So, I mean, I hope that that's what we can parlay this into, and not as an everyday thing, because I'd really rather offer you finer jewelry and eclectic jewelry and finds that you won't find in any other jewelry bag. But, you know, we'll just go by ear, see what happens. Yesterday, that's right, Debs. All my days are mixed up. I stay up too late, and I forget what day it is. It's Saturday. Yesterday, I was saying that the auction was that day, and it was today. MSP auction. All right, let me see if I don't have another question before I sign off. Looks like 73 people are watching. 50 people hit the thumbs up. The rest of you guys, would you hit it for me, please? Before we go, before we sign off, 3 ties, all 100% silk. Was told to not get anything not silk. What do you think? I would say that as well. The only ones that I get that are not silk would be the wool blend, like I showed you in the ties, in men's ties, or in the cotton. I almost picked up a cotton. I thought it was a Ralph Lauren because it was Ralph Lauren's very famous black watch. I think it's called Black Watch plaid, which is the blue and the black. Very pretty, very popular. He's made purses and all kinds of things with that plaid, but this was by another brand, and that was 100% cotton. And I almost picked up that tie because I thought the plaid itself would sell, but I figured, you know, maybe $1.75 was a little stretch. Maybe if it was 99 cents, I would have picked it up. But I would say yes, silk ties definitely are a draw, but if it's a unique pattern, something very, very different, wool and cotton is good too. Let me see if I have any more questions. It looks like I went back and found that one. So I hope I didn't miss it. If I did, go ahead and repost it. If you can, just copy paste it. Do you really find it profitable selling? Oh, yeah, it's definitely profitable, Cynthia. It's definitely profitable. I don't know, you know, when you take into account the time that you put into something versus what you get out of it, it's definitely profitable. I mean, I have fun looking through this jewelry. I have fun giving it away in giveaways, exchanging with friends and all of that. But every now and again, I'll pick up something that I sell for $120 or $500 or keep because it's diamonds and gold. And I know that I can sell that diamonds and gold for a good profit. How can it not be profitable? Or even if I pick up a blouse that I buy for $3, now I know about this place where the clothing is 25 cents. And even if I sell it for $10 or 15, it may take me a few minutes to take those pictures. But once I take that picture, I can post it in 4 venues. One of them is bound to sell. Poshmark is super easy. Mercari is super easy to just print your label right from your printer. Just click print, put a label on it. They even tell you could put it on a mailing box from the post office. You don't even have to find your own box. And I use those little envelopes quite a bit, not the padded ones. That's a whole other story we'll talk about later. But selling is extremely profitable. Only if you buy low and sell high. And don't be afraid to sell high. There's a lot of people who, when they first start, they might say something like, well, I only paid 25 cents for it. Maybe I should only sell it for $2. No, don't do that to yourself. You didn't go hunt for it, clean it, list it, take its picture, answer all these emails for you to feel guilty about making money off of it. Absolutely not. There's work involved, and you deserve to make $20, even though you only paid 25 cents. Why not? Do you like Coach purses? I do. I was just talking about one that I left behind. There are certain ones that I personally like, which are the crossbodies and the classic really thick leather ones. I love those. I don't care for particularly for the ones with the C logos. To me, they look very dated, and to me, they look like the fakes, because those were the first ones that were faked. I remember working at this place where the ladies that were working there were actually selling the fakes, and they lied to me and told me that they weren't. I didn't buy them anyway. I knew they were fake, but I asked, and there was just a proliferation of all of these fake C logo Coaches that I gained an absolute disdain for them. The time at the post office, I don't know where you live, Miss Debbie. I live in a safe neighborhood. I really do. But, and I would probably feel comfortable leaving my things out on the porch for them to pick up. But I'm just so used to, like, I'll package everything tonight that needs to go out tomorrow. It'll be in my car, and then I just drop them off. Usually this is the fun part about that label too. I don't even wait for them to get scanned. I really don't. Unless it's been late or something, I want to hurry up and get it scanned up. But I'll just drop it right there in the front counter. It's really not that much trouble for me to go to the post office. I don't know. I think I'm just old school that way and just used to doing it like that. I guess I could leave them on the porch and have someone pick them up, but I just feel more comfortable the other way, the traditional way. Plus, a lot of times I'll put everything in my car for packaging, and I'll literally package it right there in the parking lot. Because again, the time, I've spent doing everything else I need to do, I feel like I work it all into the end of my other day, my other job. And then I'm like packaging right there in the parking lot, slap on those labels, cut them out, because I don't have one of those dynamo printers or anything yet. And we're ready to go. Yeah. It's horrible at Christmas time. I know that for sure. And tax time. I do print all of my labels at home, yes. Oh, I always find Coach. I was just talking about one that I left behind because it had a tiny little flaw. The little piping was missing, and I just didn't want it, even though it was only $1.75. But it's because of the real estate. Again, you have to think, how much time am I going to have it in my armoire right here next to me before I actually list it? And then I still have to disclose the flaw. That's a good, I would say a good 30 to 40% off what I could have asked for it with the flaw. So, but I have found good ones, and I have kept them, and I have sold them. And I find that the ones that sell very quickly for me are the classic from the 90s and 80s that are really super heavy, that are your classic crossbodies, the totes, the bucket bags, all of those really classic timeless styles in any brand really do sell well. Let me see. When will you have the auction? The auction hopefully will be by the end of the month. I only have about 21 members right now. I don't know if things are getting lost in spam. If you guys have requested an invitation and didn't get it, please check your spam folders, because I'm not getting as many responses, or maybe you just don't want to be a part of it. That's fine too. But as soon as I think I have everyone who wanted to participate in there, then we're going to have it. And I probably do a little test video in there just to see how those those Facebook videos work. And I really wanted to have it on YouTube, so I'm still trying to work out that marriage there to see how I can do it where only the people that were invited from the group, maybe I'll give them all wrenches or something so that they can bid. Maybe that's the way I can do it. I'm not too sure yet, and a lot of people aren't comfortable with Facebook, or they don't have a Facebook. So all of these things are into play right now. So that's why I'm still kind of mulling over everything and how we're going to do it. But I'm still working on it, and it's still going to happen. Do you really? Okay, I found that question. Any other questions, put them in caps or highlight them, or else we will sign off in a minute. Well, Angel, I'm so glad you're here, Miss Angel Spradling. I'm glad you're new. Did you subscribe and hit the bell so that you can be notified for new videos? Yeah. Tickled Silver 101. I think I answered your question about handbags, and I think you were asking about jewelry bags. Okay. Yeah, if I did miss your question, you have a little time to repost it before we say goodnight. Oh, thank you. This one's not amber. This one's actually, they told me it was citrine. And it's the one with the dragons all around it. It's so cute. I love it. Yeah, Debs, that's definitely a thought. I'm just leery of all the bad apples out there and the trolls and all of that. It's such a pain. Like I said, maybe if I gave everyone who is invited a wrench, that may work out. Because a lot of times when you're bidding too, who's the porcelain lady? Let me show you the porcelain lady. When you're bidding and you're bidding a lot, you get timed out. That's what happened to me at Autumn Grace. I was helping her and doing the comments and stuff, and I got timed out because I'm not a moderator. She is from, where is she from? Esco? Napco, I think. I forget, but she's really beautiful. And I just strewned her with, she actually had a tiara on too. What happened to the tiara? I think it fell off. She has a little tiara I put on her too. It's a little comb. And I just put a little bit of rhinestone right there on her glove. And she, I believe, is missing one pearl earring. I got her at a thrift store a while back. Goodwill, actually. I think I got her for $4. She's still marked. Isn't she precious, though? She's so cute. And so I just put some diamonds there like she's looking at them and loving them. Okay, Angel, you get into the auction by emailing me at thelmahordes@gmail.com, and I'll put my email down below in the description. And you ask me for an invitation, and I'll send you the invitation from Facebook. It's called a secret Facebook group because it's not open to the public to even see. And that's what Facebook calls it. I don't call it that. And I actually wanted to change it to a closed group where the public could see it and you could see it and then you could send, a request to join. But it doesn't seem like I can switch it back, or at least I haven't figured it out. If you guys know how, I don't know. I know that you can switch from closed to private fairly quickly, but I don't know how to switch it from private to closed. So now as we speak, it is a secret group that we're getting together of people that are appreciative of the channel and the items that I bring, the jewelry that I show you, and the items that I will offer. Like I said, you never received it. Okay, well, check your spam folder. And is your email the same as your PayPal, Debs? Because I think I have your email on PayPal, but I don't know because it's been a while since we've done a transaction together. But if not, just email me again at thelmahordes@gmail.com and I'll resend it. But everyone who doesn't have it may have it in a spam folder, so be sure and check that out. Oh, I can make my own live stream unlisted and send links. Excellent. Excellent. And can it be unlimited, Adam? Or because I know that like the Hangouts are like 10 or 15 people, but that's awesome. That's what I was thinking. See, it's always good to have a savvy person there too that can answer questions as well. That's good to know. Thank you so much, Adam. Again, guys, if you're not subscribed to Adam, hit those 3 dots and go subscribe to him. He's a wealth of knowledge. That's what I was hoping for. But the only reason that I started the Facebook group as well is because I wanted that group of people to be a part of our circle here where we can trust each other and we you can bounce ideas back and forth. I can have my things there for sale. People are always asking me for things that they see that they're interested in. And I don't want to do a selling channel. I've talked about that before. And so that's why I wanted to parlay it to Facebook. But it's private only. You can see it. Okay, that's right. Unlisted is that way. But I didn't realize you could send. I forgot that you can actually send the link. That's true. I have a lot of unlisted videos. Like I put my my grandchildren's videos unlisted, and that way only the family can see them. But I didn't realize that it could be basically as big as I wanted it to be, right? And send that link to the people that want to participate. So I'll go ahead and put my email again in this description so that if you do want to be a part of it, you can send me the request. And I just ask that you give me your PayPal name, your YouTube name, your real name, because the reason I'm asking for all of this is because your PayPal name can be different. It could be under your husband's account. Your YouTube name is different, maybe from your real name. Your email could be different from your PayPal email. So it's not that I want to have this, you know, big black book full of information on you. It's just that I want to protect myself and you and make sure that we all have everything squared away. Okay. So guys, I think that's it. I don't see any other questions. If it's private only, you can say yes, absolutely. When did you send the email? I sent it separately. I sent it this and that, Kathleen. Did you get yours? Because I sent it. Every time someone would request it, I would resend it. And I thought I had sent you one. I thought you were already in there. If not, again, just email me again or check your spam folders. They have been popping up in the spam folders. Okay. But I didn't send them simultaneously. They've all been sent as I'm getting them. Some parties are going to get bent out of shape. Oh, everyone gets bent out of shape, Debs. Right? No matter what you do. And that's okay. That's okay. I told you guys what happened to me at MSP. First time I went on there. And that's one of the reasons Dwayne got so strict about verifying everyone, because someone had bid up my things over $2,000. And when all was said and done, my whole total for that auction went down to about $1,500. So that's the kind of thing I want to avoid, especially now that the channel has grown a bit. And there are a lot of people out there that are just really, really anxious to make trouble in a lot of ways. And, you know, ruffled feathers here and there. And I just don't care to deal with that. All right. All right, guys, y'all have a great night. I'm going to let you go. And I will come back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central. Don't forget to tune in for that. It's the A-Listers show here at 3 o'clock Central.